We have another example on the board. We're going to find first voltage source. In order to calculate voltage source, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. Voltage source is equal square root, open parenthesis, VR square plus VC square. Okay, this is the formula for voltage source in this circuit. Why I'm using Pythagorean theorem? Because angles are not given. Okay, because we're supposed to have angle next to VR and angle next to VC. So that's why at this moment, because I don't have that angles, I'm supposed to use Pythagorean theorem. So I have square root, open parenthesis, and I have 15 volts to the second power plus, open parenthesis, 12 volts to the second power. Close parenthesis is equal 19.2 volts. So this is the magnitude of my voltage source. I always try to have voltage source having angle of 0 degrees. That's why I'm going to write over here 0 degrees. Next, I'll try to find I total. Let's take a look what we have given. We have given X of C and we have given voltage across the capacitor. So I have two pieces of information at the capacitor. So I can find current, because current IC, and you're supposed to keep in mind that IC is going to be equal to IR and is going to also be equal to I total. Why? Because this is series circuit. So this is equal VC over X of C, where VC is equal 12 volts and X of C is equal 4 kiloohms. This is equal 3 milliamps. But this is not complete answer yet. Why? Because we are missing angle. We're going to find angle soon. Next, we can find the value of resistance. Why? Because voltage across resistor is given. We found the current which goes through the resistor and simply use Ohm's law and find the resistance. Resistance is equal voltage across the resistor over the current which goes through the resistor, where VR is equal 15 volts over IR, which is equal 3 milliamps. This is equal 5 kiloohms. Remember, resistance goes always with angle of 0 degrees. We have resistance, we have capacitive reactance, we can find Z total. Z total is equal resistance plus X of C. Why? Because this is series circuit. R is equal 5 kiloohms plus X of C 4 kiloohms and angle of negative 90 degrees. Use the calculator and find value of Z total. This is equal 6.4 kiloohms and angle of negative 38.66 degrees. This is my Z total. Next, I can find the angle which I'm supposed to keep next to the magnitude of current. How? Simply write I total is equal voltage source over Z total. I know already the magnitude of my current. I have to find the angle. We said that we want to keep voltage source with angle of 0 degrees and we found that Z total has angle of negative 38.66 degrees. So if you are going to subtract these two angles, you are going to end up with the angle of 38.66 degrees. Remember, the magnitude of the current is equal 3 milliamps, and the angle is 38.66 degrees. Okay? So this is the complete answer for my I total. Next, we're supposed to find the frequency. Frequency I'm going to find from the formula for capacitive reactance. X of C is equal 1 over 2 pi Fc. You're supposed to use algebra and solve this formula for F. So F is equal 1 divided by, open parenthesis, 2 pi times X of C times C. Close parenthesis. This is equal 1 divided by, open parenthesis, 2 pi times X of C, which is equal 4 coulombs, times C, 22 nanofarads. Frequency is equal 1.8 kilohertz. Next, we're supposed to find the true power. True power is equal IR square times resistance. This is equal IR is equal 3 milliamps, has to be raised to the second power, times the resistance. We found resistance and it was equal 5 coulombs. This is equal 45 milliwatts. And this is my true power. Next, we're supposed to find the reactive power, QC. QC is equal IC squared times X of C, which is equal 3 milliamps, the second power, times X of C, which is equal 4 coulombs. This is equal 36 millivolt ampere reactance. Next, we're supposed to find the apparent power. S is equal I total square times Z total, which is equal 3 milliamps to the second power times Z total, 6.4 coulombs. This is equal 57.6 millivolt ampere. Next, we're supposed to draw the power triangle. So, draw. True power is equal 45 milliwatts. QC equals 36 millivolt ampere reactance, and apparent power S equals 57.6 millivolt ampere. And of course, this is angle theta, which is the angle which we found next to Z total. So we can say that we found everything. The problem is solved.